Brazil have some of the most talented attackers in world football at the minute. Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Raphinha, Cunha, even the likes of Endrick coming through. But without Neymar, something is always missing. Because when Neymar plays, Brazil don't just attack differently, they become a completely different team.
Neymar! Wow! Pictureable goal from the pin-up boy! Neymar! Makes it look so simple.
And under Carlo Ancelotti, that difference could become even more dangerous in the World Cup this year. Without Neymar, Brazil still look like a top team on paper, but in reality, their attack often becomes predictable. Too many moments they rely on individual dribbling from players like Vinicius Jr., and too many attacks go wide too early. And not to forget, there's no real central connection between midfield and attack. Brazil's biggest issue isn't talent, it's control. Brazil can get in the final third, but once they do, they don't always know what they're going to do with it. If you haven't already and you love football, be sure to subscribe for more football content just like this. Neymar changes Brazil in a way that doesn't always show up on highlight reels. He drops deeper than most forward, he connects midfield and attack, and he forces defenders to make decisions they don't really want to make. Take this clip for example in the 2018 World Cup against Mexico. Neymar picks up the ball out wide, he comes inside and he takes about 4 players out of the game before laying it off to Willian and then ending up actually getting on the end of it and scoring a goal. This individual move allows him to take the 4 players out of the game, which is massively going to help Brazil in this tournament if they want to go far. Because when Neymar receives the ball, Brazil's shape changes instantly. Defenders step towards him, midfielders shift, and suddenly space opens up everywhere. Because Neymar doesn't just create chances, he controls the rhythm of Brazil's entire attack. Look, taking on Neymar is a big risk which Ancelotti has chosen to take. A 34-year-old with many previous injuries, he can't just expect to walk straight back into the starting 11, but that's why when I look at Brazil's fixtures in this tournament, one game stands out perfectly. Haiti, a side ranked 83rd in the world, is a perfect opportunity for Neymar to start in that number 10 and show us if he's still got it. Ancelotti's decision to include Neymar is essentially an act of faith in 2 parts. The first is a hope that enough of Neymar's greatness still remains with him and that it's not a repeat of Garrincha going to the 1966 World Cup based on prestige when his body really couldn't keep up. 2014, the World Cup hosted by Brazil, was when Neymar really started to spark in this side, showcasing his flair to the world, and now 12 years on, he'll look to recreate that and them same performances. In the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, Brazil's coach then described Neymar as the bow and arrow. Now the speed of his arrow has reduced, but the precision of his bow could be very useful in this tournament. His set-piece deliveries are as dangerous as ever, and the pace of tricky players like Vinicius Jr. and Raphinha would be enhanced by the presence of a player with the capacity to see and execute that killer pass. It could work, although the evidence over the past few weeks leaves some powerful doubts in people's minds. At the highest level, can Neymar still pull away from his marker to make that pass? Either way, bringing a player of Neymar's quality into this side will only reflect on the rest of the team. One of the biggest effects of Neymar on this side is on the players around him. Take Vinicius Jr. for example. Without Neymar, he's often forced to create all these chances by himself. He gets doubled, he gets crowded, he gets isolated, but with Neymar, defenders can't ignore Neymar in the middle, and that suddenly means Vinicius gets what he wants most: space. More 1v1s, more transition moments, more danger. With these 2 in the side, they're going to set the World Cup on fire. The same applies to Cunha and Raphinha. Neymar connects them into the game. He turns isolated attackers into a functioning system. On top of all of this, Neymar is not only the linking force, but he is mentally a role model for younger players like Endrick and Vinny to look up to. He teaches the next generation how to absorb and deflect intense public and media scrutiny. This allows them to focus on enjoying the game and expressing their natural flair. Take Vinicius. Watching him play for Brazil when Neymar's in the side is a delight, but that just shows the influence a player of Neymar's class has on his teammates. Now here's where Carlo Ancelotti really changes everything. Ancelotti isn't just a manager who forces rigid systems. He doesn't overcomplicate football. Instead, he gives his best players freedom. He's managed at some of the best: Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG. Let's face it, he's no mug, and already some of his parts of style have been shown on this Brazil side. At Real Madrid, he built the side around Vinicius Jr. He allowed midfielders and attackers to rotate freely, and he trusted moments of brilliance over strict patterns. That's exactly why Neymar fits this system, because Neymar doesn't thrive in structure, he thrives in freedom. Under Ancelotti, Neymar doesn't have to stay fixed, he becomes a roaming creator, linking Vinicius, Cunha and Raphinha all in real time. On top of this, Ancelotti believes in Neymar. He said in a recent press conference, Neymar will be an important player for us at the World Cup.
Hicimos la evaluación de Neymar todo el año y vimos que en ese último periodo él jugó con continuidad, que mejoró su condición física y pensamos que él es un jugador importante. Va a ser un jugador importante en esa Copa del Mundo.
Ancelotti said we realised that in this last period he had a continuity and was in a good physical condition. He wants him on that plane. Ancelotti primarily uses a flexible 4-3-3 or 4-4-2 diamond, however he's known for his success with the 4-3-2-1, so with all this in mind, you would think Neymar can slot right into that number 10 behind the likes of Vinicius Jr., Raphinha and Cunha. Now imagine this, Brazil at full flow, Neymar dropping between the lines, Vinicius attacking the space, Raphinha cutting inside and Cunha linking the play and scoring the goals. No fixed position, no rigid structure, just movement and creativity. It's the proper Brazil that we all know and love, and this decision of including Neymar could set the World Cup alight. Everything starts with Neymar. He is the connection point, the tempo controller, the player who turns chaos into direction. Brazil don't need more talent, they already have it, but Neymar is still that player who changes how all that talent functions together. And with Ancelotti giving him all that freedom in the World Cup, the Neymar effect could be bigger than ever. The question isn't whether Neymar fits Brazil, it's how dangerous they become because of him. Neymar is on that plane to the World Cup, and it's going to be mental. Bosh!